And live from the CSI Sports and Recreation Center, you're listening live to Dolphins basketball here on your home for everything CSI Dolphins and CSI Sports, and that is CSI Sportsnet. The Dolphins take on the York College Cardinals in women's basketball action here this afternoon. Dolphins coming in with a record on the overall on the year of 15-4, whereas York is right now at 2-17. The Dolphins 10-1 in conference as they are looking to get their 11th win, and much like the men, looking to get a win here against York College and inch closer and closer to cementing the number one seed, or at least one of the top two seeds, if you will, in the Kuniak tournament for the women's side. Of course, you take a look at conference. We'll go into that in just a second. A little bit tighter in the women's bracket right now as you have Baruch and Brooklyn and Lehman, rather, I should say, right on the heels of the Dolphins at 9-2 apiece. Joining me to my left, Mike Babusky. Mike Cohen and Mike Babusky, by the way, bringing you the action. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, the standings do appear close. It's true. And, the CSI Dolphins currently on top of the table coming into this game with a record of 10-1. But, the key thing, Mike, for the Dolphins is their remaining schedule, because you look at today's game against York and the game against Medgar Evers, and, I'm sorry, but these games are not going to be competitive. They're just not. And the Dolphins are going to win this game here against a York College team that's coming in with just 5 players here this afternoon, and then they'll go on the road and play a good non-conference game this Monday night against Drew University, a makeup game that was canceled last Monday night. But then the Dolphins have Medgar Evers and a Hunter College team, Mike, that really has been struggling. So Dolphins are going to come in very heavy favorites in the next 3 games. But you know what, Mike? They finished with 2 pretty tough ones.
That's right.
Against against Brooklyn College, on the road at Brooklyn, and then the Dolphins will wrap up the regular season back here at home against Lehman College. So Dolphins 3 out of 4 conference games remaining here at home, but a couple of tough ones to end the season.
And that's why you never want to take anyone light. Now, we'll take a look at York. We know that they are very light on the roster. As we will make note of later, they only have 5 players on the court right now practicing, so they have had some issues this year as at York. But again, you never want to take anybody lightly. So if you're a CSI, you want to go out here, play well, play your game, and get a win here against York. Do the same over the next couple of games against Drew in Madison, New Jersey on Monday night, and then keep it going when you get back here against Hunter, because, look, there's a chance that, a trip up against either Brooklyn or Lehman, Dolphins could find themselves, if let's just say Brooklyn and Lehman, let's just say win all their games as well, the Dolphins could find themselves out of the number 1 spot. So you want to keep on winning your basketball games.
Yeah, Mike, you certainly don't want to drop out of the top 2. And that really is the key, Mike, because whether you're the number 1 seed in the tournament or the number 2, the fact of the matter is that you get to go right into the semifinal round. And that's really what you need to do. And from there, when you're playing in a Final Four situation, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. But, the way the Dolphins have been playing here this year, it's been a long time, Mike, since they've won the regular season championship, and it's an important thing to do. It's something that counts in the points towards winning the conference athletically, and it's something that I'm sure head coach Tim Shanahan wants for his team this year.
Now let's get right into this game here between York and CSI. For the Dolphins, it's been a lot of Christina Passaturo. It's been Christina Passaturo from almost the entire season. Her last 4 games, she has led this team in scoring and has dropped 23 or more points in each of those games. She had 30 points against Brooklyn last time we were here. She had 29 against John Jay, 28 against CCNY, and 23 on the road. She has led the team in scoring in 14 of the last 15 games here, Mike Babusky, and really talk about her play so far.
Yeah, Christina's been absolutely unbelievable, Mike, for the Dolphins, especially since earlier in the season. She's really been red hot as well. And, the big game for the Dolphins was earlier this week against Baruch College. And, it was a game that the Dolphins really needed to have. It was the only team that defeated them this year. And, it's the difference, Mike, between sitting up at top of the table and dropping back down into the pack. And, the Dolphins were were able to do a really good job in that game. They outscored Baruch by 10 points in the first quarter, went into halftime leading by 14 points, and won the game by a final score of 63-50. Both Christina Passatoro and Samantha Flecker both played 40 minutes in that game for the Dolphins. Passatoro finishing with 23 points, 10 rebounds, finishing with a double-double for the Dolphins, and Samantha Flecker with 19 points and 9 rebounds, was just 1 rebound short of a double-double as well. So Dolphins coming off of that huge win against Baruch and now coming in as a really heavy favorite here against a York College team that's still trying to build that program back up, Mike.
Yeah, they're trying to rebuild right now. Their best player on the floor so far this year, Evander Redwood, I should say, she has led the team with 212 points. She's been their best and most consistent shooter. But again, you can only do so much when you're one player, and that she needs a lot more help than that as they're trying to rebuild that team. This will be a rematch. These two teams did play each other earlier in the year, and you got to go back to December the 3rd. Last time these two teams met, squared off in Jamaica, New York, where CSI won the game 79-40. They got off to a 31-8 lead in the first quarter and really never looked back. Christina Passatoro that day had 27 points on 8 of 9 shooting, 6 of 7 from downtown. Samantha Flecker had 14 points that day on 6 of 11 shooting, as those two, that duo, led the way for CSI in the win.
Yeah, and you know, Mike, it's really tough to play this CSI women's basketball team at home with a full complement of players, but to come in and try to play with just 5 is really going to be a very major challenge for the Cardinals here this afternoon.
Let's look back a little bit first, as we just concluded the men's game just a little while ago, and the CSI men won convincingly 101-84 over York. A dominant performance by really the entire Dolphins squad. Everyone was contributing. They had 5 players in double figures. Khalid Baum had a double-double. He had 13 boards and 19 points to lead the way for CSI. Kevion Murphy with 14, Eden Brocic with 17, Frank Schettino, a quiet day in points, but he also had 13 assists and 8 boards.
Yeah, you know, a real good game for the Dolphins, Mike. It was a game that they came out, the Cardinals scored the first basket in the game, but then the Dolphins were able to go on an 8-2 run, and, you know, the Cardinals were able to change the lead a couple of times very early in the game, but the Dolphins were able to pull ahead by 10 points, 35-25, and from that point forward, the Dolphins never didn't lead that game by double digits.
So the Dolphins get the win as they improve to 12-0 in the Kuniak Conference, as again they pretty much assured themselves now a 1 or 2 seed with that win. And as we talked about at the end of the game, if they can get a win later on this week and get to 13-0 in conference, well, then you can pretty much close out the books as far as the Kuniak regular season is concerned. And now the attention will turn to how the Dolphins can set things up for themselves if they can get into the semifinals automatically for the 1 and 2 seeds of that Kuniak tournament. That will begin in middle of February. February 22nd is when the semifinals begin in the Kuniak at CCNY. So that's what's at stake for the men. For the women, pretty much very similar. They're trying to put themselves in the same position. But right now, let's just take a quick look around the league in the women's bracket. And again, you take a look at the standings. Staten Island at 10-1, Brooklyn at 9-2. Excuse me. Lehman also at 9-2, as those two schools right now battling for the number 2 seed and even the number 1 seed for that matter as well. That's still up there. And then you have Baruch at 7-3, Hunter College at 5-5. I got to ask you this, Mike. And look, we already discussed how everyone in the conference is dangerous. Of all these teams, and obviously Brooklyn and Lehman College stand out, of the teams that are going to be really cemented in the 3, 4, 5, 6 spot, like a Baruch, Hunter College, CCNY, which of those teams could be a danger to a CSI or anybody?
Well, you know, Mike, to me, this conference is really only 4 teams. To me, there are only 4 teams that you can legitimately expect to compete in. I can almost guarantee you these will be the 4 teams that'll be at Nat Holman Gymnasium for the semifinals, and that's going to be Baruch, Lehman, Brooklyn, and Staten Island.
Yeah.
And you know, they're just so much ahead of the other teams in the conference, and it's a little bit unfortunate because unlike the men's side of the table, where legitimately the number 8 seed could beat any team in the conference. It's just not the case on the women's side, and it's a little bit unfortunate. You know, the York Cardinal are continuing to try to build up their program. You know, Mega Evers has really struggled on the women's side for a number of years, and Hunter College, which has traditionally been a pretty strong team on the women's side, has taken a little bit of a step back this year, and, you know, they're going to look to rebuild their program as well. But, you know, Brooklyn College, very dangerous, very well coached. Lehman, the defending champion, so you got to look at them as the favorites coming in. They're the defending champs until somebody knocks them off. And then Baruch College, the Bearcats, with that deep tradition, the Bearcats, the only team to defeat the Dolphins here this year, have to be considered dangerous as well, Mike. So when you look at these, when you look at this conference, Hunter College building up the program a little bit. CCNY, I think, Mike, has really done a good job building up the program, and I neglected to mention them. You want to talk about a team that's outside the top four that has the ability to score an upset. I think Hunter and CCNY are those two teams. And, you know, CCNY has a couple of talented players, and so does Hunter. So if anybody is going to step forward and knock one of those top four teams off, I think you got to say it would be Hunter or CCNY.
So we'll see how it works out, as right now CSI and York getting ready for basketball here in about 2.5 minutes. As remember, this is the 7th annual Mighty White Alumni Afternoon. We'll take a break. We'll be back right after this.
I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund breeding.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Love is love.
This is why you took a second job. While you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. While you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
And we are back here, folks, on your home for everything CSI Dolphins, CSIDolphins.com, CSI Sportsnet. Dolphins and York getting ready to square off against one another here in women's basketball action here at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center. Earlier today, folks, we had the pleasure of being part of the 7th annual alumni game in honor of Coach Matty White and his wife Dolores White, as we saw a number of alumni come here to the Sports and Recreation Center, Mike, over the last couple of decades of CSI basketball. Really played a tremendous basketball game, we thought, for the alumni.
Yeah, you know, it was a lot of fun, Mike. We got to see a lot of old friends come out and join us. And, you know, some of the greats in CSI basketball history participated in that game. Evan Pittman coming out again. Michael Stewart, one of the best scorers in CSI Dolphin history. We had John Calley, of course, a Hall of Famer in CSI athletics. And, then we just had a bunch of players that came back and joined us who were on that team that went to the Sweet 16, like Dale Toronto and Frank Uslan. And it really was just a fun day all the way around, Mike. And, now we head into the third game here this afternoon. And, a York College team that really struggled here throughout the season. And, coming into today, Mike, without several of their best players, including Ivana Redwood, who's averaging 11.8 points and 5.4 rebounds, doesn't appear to be with the team here today. So, a real tough task for a very undermanned York Cardinal squad here this afternoon.
Yeah, it will be a very tough task for them, as the lineups will be introduced in just a moment here for CSI. Again, trying to get to their 11th win of the year in the Kuniak, as Tim Shanahan's crew moving closer and closer to a regular season title in the Kuniak, but of course you still got to go through the tournament. Right now, let's get you the starting lineups for tonight's game, and we'll start it off with the visiting York team. Mike, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Mike. First of all, for the visiting Cardinals, it'll be number 5, Rafael Sava, number 10, Dana Jacome, number 12, Juliet Matthews, number 14, Sheena Rashna, and number 22, Mayan Charles. For the Dolphins, it'll be a familiar starting 5. Number 2, Christina Passatoro, number 2 in the conference in scoring, averaging nearly 22.5 points a game for the Dolphins. The remaining of the starting 5, number 10, Angelique Price, number 14, Victoria Cray, number 31, Samantha Flecker, and number 32, Rosa Perone, will round out the starting 5 for your first place Kuniak CSI Dolphins, 15-4 overall and 10-1 in the conference.
So we are ready for basketball here, folks, on a chilly afternoon outside. Nice and comfortable here at the Sports and Recreation Center, as we'll tip it off in just a few moments here at CSI. So, Mike, your final thoughts, what the Dolphins have to do to get a win here tonight?
Well, Mike, essentially they have to walk out onto the floor and they'll get a win here this afternoon. So,
okay.
The Dolphins, in a game against, again, not to make light of York College. And, there's nothing but respect for 5 players that are willing to come out and play without even the benefit of a substitution. And you got to praise the girls, but Dolphins coming out really is a strong favorite here this afternoon. And I'm sorry, Mike, I just can't see any circumstance where the Dolphins don't really get a control of this one early and then go from there.
Last time they met back in early December, Dolphins took a 31-8 lead in the first quarter as they went on their way to a win, 79-40 in Jamaica, Queens. See how it works here tonight, as CSI New York do it up again for the second time this year, as the tip-off is won by the Dolphins, as the pass from Angelique Price looked like they were looking for Samantha Flecker, goes out of bounds, and last to touch it was York, so CSI will inbound. Right now the official goes to the scores table before we resume.
The CSI Dolphin team, Mike, has won 7 games in a row. Their last loss was that upset here at home on January 4th to Baruch College.
Passatero looking for Perone, but the pass is taken away. Officials will blow the whistle, and it will be a turnover back the other way to York. So CSI with a inconspicuous start to start things off in the first few seconds, as York will get the basketball on the turnover.
Dolphins coming in, Mike, nearly a 16-point differential offense to defense here this year.
Yeah, it was Matthews who lost handle of the basketball. Passaturo bringing it down court, takes the shot, no good. Flecker with the rebound. Gives it back off to Passaturo. Bounce pass back over to Cray. Cray now shoots it back over to Passaturo. They go back and forth, now back over to Flecker. Going around the horn, cross-court pass to Passaturo, long shot, hits the rim. Perone with the rebound, and a foul will be called. Travel will be called, rather, on the Dolphins.
Yeah, so the Dolphins off to a little bit of a slow start here offensively. Still early on, no score. Played less than a minute here in the first half.
Juliet Matthews, junior forward, will inbound here for York College. Guarded by Samantha Flecker. She's got to hurry. And throws an errant pass that's taken away by the Dolphins. Cray with a three-point shot, and that's going to hit the rim and bounce out. Rebound here for Matthews and for the Cardinals. Dana Jacome right now will take the ball as she will bring it down court. York passing it around, and it's eventually taken away and stolen by Price. Price bringing it down court. Should have been a foul called on York, no whistle blown. Did look like a push was put on by York, but still, the Passaturo with the three-point shot, no good. Angelique Price, though, does come down with the rebound. Passaturo charging inside through the lane, gives it off inside the lane to Perone, who puts it up for the first points of the day. It's 2-0.
Yeah, so both teams struggling with their shooting, but Perone gets the first points of the game, and the Dolphins lead after 90 seconds, 2-0.
Rafael Sava giving it off this time to Matthews. Now Sava gets her hands back on the basketball, brings it down into the lane, now steps back out. Top of the key, now hands it off this time to Jacome. Jacome trying to get the screen, doesn't get any help, as she's taken down to the floor. Yeah, whistle is blown. It's against the Dolphins.
Yeah, so the Dolphins will pick up the first foul of the game. It will be on Passatoro, so the Cardinals will inbound, trailing 2-0.
2-0 Dolphins. Yeah, Sava tries to give it off, but a good job defensively by the Dolphins to swarm and go after the basketball, but a foul was called in the process. Second foul called already on Passatoro. And that's just not even 2 minutes into the basketball game.
Yeah, you know, Mike, that's really a big foul there on Christina. And, you know, ordinarily, Christina could be on the bench for at least the rest of the first quarter. I'm a little bit surprised she's not.
Sava dishes it out on the bounce pass to Matthews, who takes the jump shot, and it's good. It's now 2-2.
Nice-looking jump shot by Matthews to tie the game up at 2, and now Price drives down the lane and draws the foul.
So the Dolphins will go to the line here to shoot. And the numbers so far this year on Price at the free-throw line, as I take a look, she has been a pretty good free-throw shooter, although she's had her struggles at times, hitting at 55% on the year. And she'll miss the first.
And the Dolphins coming out shooting a little bit cold here to start the game this afternoon.
2-2 game. And Price trying to hit the back end of this free-throw, and she does. So the Dolphins get the lead back. It's now 3-2. Dana Jacome looking for someone open. She can't get anybody open. Great job by the Dolphins on the press. Samantha Flecker steals it, passes it off to Price inside, and she's able to get the layup. It's now a 3-point lead for the Dolphins, their largest of the day.
And, you know, Mike, of course, with an empty bench for the Cardinals, any foul trouble at all could be disastrous here this afternoon.
Absolutely right. Cray dishes it out to Price. Price going inside Perone, bumps off the player, spins, turns, takes the shot, no good. Rebound here for York College as Sava right now double-teamed and ends up having to bounce it off the leg of Passaturo and keep possession here for this York College team with 23 seconds on the shot clock.
And York has really struggled offensively, Mike. They've come in shooting just 28% from the field and averaging just over 42 points a game.
Sava trying to set up the screen pass. It was tipped initially by Price. Somehow York College comes out with it, as right now it's going to be Rosher with the basketball, hands it off to Matthews. Passing it over towards in the direction of Sava, but Samantha Flecker gets her fingertips on it. We'll go out of bounds and we'll stay Cardinals basketball with 4 to shoot.
Yeah, and you know, Mike, this is the kind of start that you like if you're the York Cardinals. The game is very low scoring. It's slogging back and forth, and the Cardinals staying right in the game here in the early going.
Shot clock goes down and expires on the Cardinals, so the Dolphins get the turnover. Samantha Flecker inside on the baseline takes the shot, no good, and a very sloppy start for CSI. We don't have the official stats yet, but they've missed a number of shots early on. They only lead 5-2. About 2.5 minutes into this basketball game so far, but a timeout is called, 30 seconds by the Dolphins. So, Mike, a little bit of a sluggish start here for CSI.
Yeah, you know, it really is, Mike. And, you know, it's hard to build up the intensity for the Dolphins. But, you know, you certainly want to come back and play better, especially here in the early going. So, a timeout taken on the floor. And, you know, head coach Timmy Shanahan talking to his ladies and, you know, trying to get them to play a little bit better here in the early going. The biggest news here in the early story, Mike, 2 quick fouls on Christina Passatoro. and she remains out on the floor for the Dolphins.
So timeout is now complete as York College will inbound. Juliet Matthews inbound pass over to Rosher. Rather to Jacome. Jacome passing it off inside. Shot was taken no good. I could not see who took the shot. As Dolphins come out with a Cray moving down court into the lane, passes it off in the lane to Flecker, who finishes it off for 2 points. It's good, 7-2 Dolphins.
Nice assist by Cray as Flecker gets her first point to the game.
Dolphins up by 5 with approaching 6 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Sava, right now top of the key, thought about going for 3, instead passes it off inside. And the shot inside there by Jacome, no good. Dolphins come out with a rebound. Passaturo going all the way down court, and she finishes it for 2 more points. So the Dolphins now lead 9-2. First points of the day for Passaturo.
Yeah, 4 Dolphins have scored already, Mike, as the Dolphins open the lead to 7.
Sava, long distance three-pointer, no good, and a rebound here for Price and the Dolphins. Price going all the way coast to coast down the court, takes the shot, no good. Rebound as Price gets her own miss on the rebound. Cray back to Flecker, now back over to Cray, and then Passaturo for 3. And that's going to hit the rim, no good. Cardinals first to touch it, bounced out of their hands. Back to Passaturo on the turnover, who puts it in for 2 more.
Yeah, so the Dolphins opening the lead up to 9 now, Mike. They've scored 11 of the game's first 13 points.
Right now, Sava looking for some help, but instead Flecker is the one who comes through and steals it away. Going coast to coast, puts it up and in for 2. And it's 13-2, and you can talk about the shortage of players all you want, Mike, but at the same time, York just can't seem to set up any kind of offense at all here against CSI.
Yeah, you know, we mentioned, Mike, that the Cardinals really struggle offensively. They don't shoot that well from the field. They're without their leading scorer, and, you know, they average just 42 points a game. And, you know, those very challenging statistics to be able to overcome.
Victoria Cray will inbound here for CSI. 4.5 to go. Just about 4.5 to go here in this opening quarter. Passaturo now gives it off to Cray. Dolphins setting up their offense as Passaturo goes back to Flecker. Flecker going across to Price. And now Flecker next to touch it on the cross pass from Price. Takes the shot, open shot, no good. Rims out, and it's going to be York basketball again. Jacome just hands it off this time over to Rosher. Rosher going over to Matthews. Bounce pass inside. Shot is up, and it's going to be no good. Whistle is blown, though. No foul called. Will remain a York College basketball. As that's going to be a pass stolen away from Cray. Cray going downtown for the finish, and that's 2 more points. And we have seen throughout this game so far in the first quarter, opening 6 minutes, the Dolphins consistently going right to the hoop to finish off plays as they lead now by 13. Another rebound here for CSI for Price. Price going to the hoop again, unchallenged, and she puts it up, but no good. York College, Rafael Sava. Sava going over to Rosher now back over to Jacome on the pass. Jacome to Matthews. Matthews passing it over to Sava for the 3-point shot, no good. Rebounded initially by number 22, Mayan Charles. First time we've had a chance to say her name today. But a foul called on Perone. Inside will be the third foul on the Dolphins here in this first quarter. Three-point shot again. This time will be from Jacome, no good. And another rebound for the basketball, and Dolphins come out with it. York College can't buy a shot right now. Yeah, they just can't. They just cannot compete offensively, Mike. And, you know, just one basket through 7 minutes, and Dolphins continue to open up their lead. Dolphins continue to have their way. Another bucket there for the Dolphins. That one for Cray. She now leads the Dolphins with 5. 18-2, CSI in front. And another 3-point shot, this time by Sava, and she's taken a number of 3-point shots already in this first quarter. Samantha Flecker spins around, kicks it back out to Price, now gets the pass back. Working inside now to Perone, but a whistle was blown. And that will be a foul call, and it will be called on York. And that'll be on Charles, her first foul, so the Dolphins will keep possession. New 30 on the shot clock. Perone all alone, three-point shot, and banks it through. And that's the first three of the day here for CSI. First for Perone, or for Passaturo, I should say, her first. Makes it 7 points for her. It's now 21-2, CSI in front.
Yeah, you know, Mike, it's just been all Dolphins, and you know, it's tough. The York Cardinal team is coming out and they're playing the best they can, but you know, they're just so on demand here this afternoon.
Shot is up is no good. And CSI coming away with it as Cray has it. Cray going down court quickly, puts it up, and it goes right through. Just swoosh into the bucket. That's now 7 points for Cray already. It's now 23-2, and CSI continues to march on here against the undermanned York College Cardinals. A 21-point lead. And it wasn't that long ago before Tim Shanahan called a timeout with his team leading only by a score of 5-2. Didn't like the way they were playing early on. Called that timeout, and that 30-second timeout made the difference as CSI's been on a run since. Finally some points, though, for the Cardinals. Their first in a very long time since the start of this game.
Yeah, that breaks an 18-0 run, Mike, for the Dolphins.
Jacome going over this time over to Sava. Sava up against Price. Now back to Jacome. Bounce pass this time back over to Jacome. Now going over to open Rasher for three, but it's going to be no good. Rebound by the Dolphins. Passaturo quickly going down court. Takes the open jump shot and nails it. And everything's going well for the Dolphins right now. Every shot they take over the last 5 minutes have been going through.
Yeah, quick 9 points for Christina here in the first quarter.
25-4, CSI in full command here at the Sports and Recreation Center. A long-distance jump shot is no good by Jacome. Dolphins come up with it. Passaturo again going right through the lane, but dishes it off this time on a nice screen pass over to Price. Takes the shot as she comes in. Will draw the foul inside, and she will more than likely go to the line to shoot. And she will go to the line to shoot, so that will be a foul on number 5, and that is on Rafaela Sava.
Yeah, so Sava picks up her first, Mike. 4 Cardinals with fouls, 1 foul apiece, as Price will go to the line to shoot 2.
And the fouls will be something that we will watch after this game, especially for York College. Again, only 5 players came to the ball. It came to the arena today. That is it. So Ronald James's team is very much undermanned here today. 27-4 now, CSI in front. 28 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Sava looking for somebody open. Instead, we'll just dish it off to Jacome at the top of the key. They've been taking a lot of three-point shots so far. They have been unable to work their way inside Has York in this first quarter, as a travel violation is called on Charles as she did walk.
And it's been a very quick first quarter here, Mike. 4 fouls on the Cardinals, 3 on the Dolphins, as they could have the last possession.
Last possession for CSI. Price going over to Passaturo, kicks it back out to Cray. 3-point shot, clock ticking down. It'll bounce off the rim, no good. So CSI, after 1 quarter of play, they hold a 27-4 lead. As we'll take a quick break right here on your home for everything CSI's Dolphins, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome, I think we're breathtaking, and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, Chief. I got this. Is that brand? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Pick a college, man. You and us. Go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to getschool.com for more info.
And we're back here, folks, at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center. Dolphins up 27-4 after one quarter of play. Dolphins shot 47% from the field, whereas York shot only 11% and was 0 for 7 from downtown. As a CSI team that is playing good basketball, red hot coming in, winning 7 in a row right now, firmly in command after one quarter of play.
Yeah, you know, Mike, the Dolphins doing a nice job coming out here, and, you know, it's unfortunate York really struggling on the offensive end. As you mentioned, just 2 of 18 from the field. They haven't hit a three-pointer. They've turned the ball over, and they've been out-rebounded. So, tough first quarter here for the Cardinals.
Matthews with the off-balance shot was no good as Dolphins come out with a rebound. Passaturo now with her hands on the basketball looking for Flecker. Flecker right now outside in the corner, goes back up to Passaturo, now over to Cray. Cray working her way inside just before the lane, passes it back out to Passaturo for a long three. Ball nearly gets stuck but falls out, and it will still be a rebound for York College. Rebound on the basketball will be Mayon Charles. Right now it will be Sava. Sava going over towards Roshner. Roshner back to Matthews, now back to Sava. Three-point shot, and again, York College just continues to stay in love with the three-point shot. They are now 0 for 8 from downtown. You know, I know they're undermanned and you want to get as many points as you can. Three-point shot for Price, no good rebound here for York, but you got to try to establish something inside. They've been unable to do so.
Yeah, you know, the Cardinals really struggling offensively here this afternoon. Just 2 baskets through over 11 minutes of play.
Right now will be Sava with her hands on the basketball, goes over to Matthews, top of the key. A couple of bounce passes back and forth. Right now will be Jacome trying to get through a couple of Dolphins. Shot is put up, and it is good.
Nice floater in the lane by Jacome.
Right now we Flecker. Flecker going over to Perrone. Perrone back over to Price. Now to Flecker back on the outside for the three-point shot. Nice job by Price to save it, but she throws it right into the hands of Sava for a turnover. And York College right now going the other way, but a foul called on Perrone as she tried to go over and back. And that will be a foul on CSI.
Yeah, that time Rosa just couldn't get out of the way of Sava on the play, collided into her, picked up her foul. That's her first, team's first here in the second quarter.
Matthews inbounds over to Sava. 8:07 to go here in the second quarter. Roshner going over to back to Matthews, now to Jacome. Jacome going to Matthews. Just a lot of cross passes back and forth. And all trying to set up for three-pointers that end up being no good. That's been the story for the Cardinals today. Going coast to coast is Cray, but a foul called inside defensively on York College. And the Dolphins are going to continue to do that all day. They have a size advantage, not just the experience advantage, but a huge size advantage here against York, and they're going to take full advantage of it if they can.
Yeah, and that time Matthews picks up the foul, Mike, for the Cardinals. That's her first. The team's first here in the second quarter, so Victoria Cray will go to the free throw line to shoot 2, and she hits the first. She now has 8 points here this afternoon.
Victoria Cray on the year from the free throw line, a 71% shooter. Goes 1 for 2 on these 2 attempts. 28-6, Dolphins in front with 7:45 to go before the half. Sava. And then Roshner, then back to Sava. Now over to Jacome. Sava three-point shot and banks it through. And, well, after so many attempts of missing, they finally get 1 for 10 from downtown. It's 28-9. Cray setting up the offense, going over to Passaturo. Passaturo wants some help. She wants to get a screen set up. They go to Cray. Back over to now Bessie, who checks in wearing number 5. Aaron pass there by Passaturo. She was looking for Cray. Ended up getting tipped in the air and was taken away by York College. Sava going over to Jacome. Back to Sava. Sava goes across court, this time to Roshner. Going back up top to Jacome. Now Sava working her way inside. Sets it back outside on the jump shot attempt for Matthews. No good rebound by York College. Nice job by Charles to get the rebound. Much better offensive flow here for York College in this possession, and it results in a nice reward, a three-pointer, and it's now 28-12. 5 points now for Rochner. That leads the team for York College. Imbesi over to Passaturo, back over to Flecker on the outside. 3-point shot, no good. Nice rebound by Imbesi. Dolphins still come out with it on the miss. Stolen away, but a foul called inside first. We'll figure out who it is. I believe it will be against York College.
Yeah, York doing a nice job, Mike, finally playing a little bit better offensively. They only had 4 points in the first quarter. They already have 8 here in the second and have cut the Dolphin lead down to 28-12.
Victoria Cray, having an outstanding season, missed all last year with an injury. This year has been phenomenal for the Dolphins, both assists and in scoring. Right now passes it off. Dolphins work their way inside Angelique Price for 2. That gives her 7 points. It's now 30-12. 6 minutes to go here before halftime here at the Sports and Recreation Center. Right now, pass here, shot by Matthews, rather, goes up and no good. Really was a short shot to begin with. Passaturo bring it down court quickly. Backwards pass over to Cray. Now it goes back across, this time to Price. Price with a 3-point shot, no good. She jumps in to try to rebound her own miss. She's able to keep the momentum back towards the Dolphins and kick it back to Flecker. As a result, Dolphins with a new 30 on the shot clock. Cray and now Passaturo passing it between each other on a couple of bounce passes. Now Cray going into the paint, puts it up and through, and it's able to make it a 20-point lead for the Dolphins. Victoria Cray having an outstanding start to this game. She now has 10 points to lead the way for the Dolphins, up 32-12 with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, and you can see the Dolphins already starting to run some shot clock. Big answer there for the Cardinals.
Big answer for the Cardinals. Jacome with the 3-pointer. That gives her 5. 32-15. Only a 17-point lead for the Dolphins right now. Passaturo, nice sidestep to get out of that situation around Jacome. Now goes back over to Imbesi. Imbesi now on the baseline to Cray. Cray needs some help. Goes back over to Imbesi. Now Passaturo. Imbesi right now the best one open, although there is Price in the corner. They haven't hit her yet. Passaturo will take the shot and banks it through. That's 3 points for Passaturo. She now has 12. That's her second 3 of the day.
Yeah, so Christina gives the Dolphins a 20-point lead once again.
4:30 to go here before halftime. Shot by Charles. No good. Rebound here by Imbesi. Dolphins have been able to manage offense here, whereas York College, and Mike, you've already illustrated this, undermanned, undersized, and unable to establish anything against a much bigger CSI team. Right now, Cray, top of the key, working inside, goes to Imbesi, now working underneath, kicks it back out to Passaturo. Whistle was blown before the shot by Price. So that will be a turnover. It'll be an offensive foul on the Dolphins, and we'll go back to the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think it might have been a 3-second violation, Mike, on the Dolphins.
3:56 to go here before the half. Right now, Jacome. Matthews back to Jacome. Nice move by Sava with the no-look pass, but it goes right to a Dolphin. She was trying to go to Charles, who has really been on the outside of the baseline all day today. Has not moved from that position, and when the Cardinals have been on offense, the Dolphins reading it very well, and they forced the turnover and get the ball back.
Yeah, that time Charles kind of stumbled into the Dolphin player and picked up the foul, and that's her second, so that's a big foul. Price
working hard inside, and will draw a foul inside.
Oh boy, and Mike, that's going to be the third foul on Charles.
Well, now it's getting a little interesting. It's with a team that is shorthanded. And right now, Charles in a spot where had the York College had even 1 or 2 more players right now that could substitute her out of the game. And that is not the case.
And of course, Mike, it's tough to play 40 minutes under the best of circumstances, let alone trying to play 5 players for 40 minutes.
Angelique Price hits the first of 2. So far today, Price at the free-throw line is 0 for 1. Now she is 2 out of 3 at the free-throw line. Correction, make that 5 out of 6 at the free-throw line. So 37-15 in favor of CSI with 3.5 to go.
Nahada Bracic checking into the game for the Dolphins.
Shot here by Charles, no good. Dolphins with the rebound. Cray with the rebound. Bringing it down court quickly. No challenge from York. No press at all. Samantha Flecker now top of the key. Passes it off this time to Brocic. Brocic going over to Passaturo. Passaturo working her way around.
Yeah,
back over to Cray.
Sorry, Mike. I would be surprised if the Dolphins take any shots with under 10 seconds in the shot clock from here on.
We'll see, as Passaturo does take the shot with 4 in the shot clock, and it is for 3 more points. It's now 15. That's her third 3 of the day. And it's now 40-15. The Dolphins right now, Mike, and I know we only got 2.5 minutes to go before halftime. They are well on their way to their 16th win of the year, but we still got another half of basketball to go. As the Dolphins force the turnover, Samantha Flecker passing it off to Mbesi, working her way inside and spins around and puts it in for 2.
Nice layup by Nicole as she gets her first points of the afternoon.
2 points for Nicole Mbesi. Yeah, Dolphins up big, 42-15. As right now will be Roshner. Roshner trying to go over to Jacome. Very fortunate that Mbesi didn't pick it off, and the shot was no good anyway. Dolphins get the rebound. Flecker going coast to coast, puts it up, but a whistle was blown. There will be a travel called on Flecker and the Dolphins. It'll be turnover the other way, back to the York Cardinals.
Yeah, nice defensive play that time by the Cardinals as Flecker took the ball to the lane. They were able to make contact with the basketball, and Flecker got called for the travel, and now DeMontre will check into the game. She will replace Victoria Cray. And we'll have another substitution for the Dolphins as Lena Batar will check into the game for CSI as well. She'll replace Passatoro, and now Vasigia Watson will check in to the game as well for the Dolphins.
So a couple of freshmen now in the game in Batar and Watson. As the Dolphins giving some of their starters a little bit of a break here before the halftime. Shot, long distance shot there by number 12, and that is good for Matthews, as that is a long distance 2. It will not be a 3. Watson going over to DeMontre. DeMontre back over across to Brocic. Shot is no good. A nice job by DeMontre on the press, trying to force the turnover there against Sava. 1:13 to go. Watson guarding right now against Matthews. They go over to Jacome. Now it's going to be Roshner, long distance 3. It's not even going to make it. Doesn't even hit the netting, as it was short of even the net, as the Dolphins will get the basketball here. And Lena Batar will inbound over to DeMontre. DeMontre setting things up here for the Dolphins. Going over to Mbesi, now over to Watson. Watson to Batar. Batar now back to DeMontre. Nice bounce pass by Mbesi, back to DeMontre. 3-point shot, no good. Rebound here for the Dolphins. Nice job by Batar. Spin around, shot no good. Picked up by Mbesi, new 30 for the Dolphins. Dolphins can just hold here, in my mind, Mike. We'll see if they do with their second string in. DeMontre right now doing just that, taking the instruction here from Tim Shanahan. This is a good teaching lesson right now for these young Dolphins. 3-point shot, and it's going to hit the rim. Nice rebound there by Batar. She came in quickly at the last beat. And the Dolphins end up losing possession anyway, but a nice possession still by the Dolphins to eat up a lot of clock.
Yeah, let's see if York holds for the last shot of the first half.
5 seconds to go here before the half. And the shot by Sava as the clock ticks away, but it's going to be no good. Coming out with this Mbesi, and that will take us into the locker room, folks. 42-17, the CSI Lady Dolphins all over the Underman York College Cardinals.
Yeah, you know, Mike, the Dolphins did a good job defensively in the first quarter. The Cardinals just scored 4 points. The Dolphins blew that game open and have really been comfortably in charge the whole way.
So we'll take a break here, folks, at the half. The Dolphins fully in command, 42-17. You're listening to your home for everything CSI Dolphins, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably put the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Mom.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course.
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up. emergency plan today.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Na 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 na. I love you so. I love you. I love you. La 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 la. La 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 la.
We're here.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
A full life measured in seats starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome, I think we're breathtaking, and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that Bran? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us. Go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to getschool.com for more info.
And we are back here, folks, and your home for everything CSI and Dolphins here on CSI Sportsnet. Dolphins taking on York College as we begin the second half of this ball game between the Dolphins and the Cardinals. Women's basketball action as the Staten Island Dolphins all over York College 42-17, and really a combination of much bigger size, bigger experience, and also the obvious fact that the much deeper bench with no bench for York College here today. Literally, as CSI has rolled in this first half. They led at the end of the first quarter 27-4, and right now at halftime 42-17. Big day so far for Christina Pasaturo with 15 points. 3 of those were for field goals from downtown. Victoria Cray also with a big day, 10 points. Angelique Price with 9. But, Mike, as we go into this second half, we can go through all the numbers. CSI is going to have an advantage in every which way. I would expect we'll see more of players like Elaine DeMontro, Visegia Watson, Lena Bataro, some of these second stringers, freshmen are going to play a little bit more, I would imagine, in this second half, as maybe more as we get to the fourth quarter, as CSI is well in front right now.
Yeah, Mike, and as we look at the halftime statistics, and it's really all Dolphins here as they are out shooting York College from the floor. They've out-rebounded them. They've turned the ball over less, and really it's kind of been the kind of game that we thought it would be, Mike. York College fell behind 5-2, and then the Dolphins exploded and jumped out into a lead. As you mentioned, they led 27-4 at halftime, and I expect the second half will be a lot of the Dolphins running down the shot clock and an opportunity to work on some plays and really get ready for a big game that's going to take place Monday afternoon, as the Dolphins will have their final non-conference game of the regular season, as they'll travel to Drew University and then come back home for a couple of conference games.
And that is the case. Dolphins also doing a good job on the glass with 33 rebounds to the 17 for York. And really the biggest difference, Mike, is the size advantage that CSI has. York College can't establish anything offensively. They've been taking a number of shots outside, 3 out of 13 from downtown. They aren't hitting their threes at all, and that's really the biggest difference. York College, not a great offensive team to begin with. Of course, with a number of players who are not here for them today, makes things a lot tougher for them offensively to compete here against the Dolphins. But still, you got to give the players that are out there in the court a lot of credit for going out there and doing the best they can here today against a very good CSI Dolphins team.
Yeah, it's tough to come in this on demand and play against a better team. And, York College is out there and, really playing the best they can. And you got to give these girls a lot of credit. Coming out here, coming all the way from Queens here this afternoon, and doing a very good job here against the Dolphins.
So we'll begin in the second half. Dolphins will have their regular starting 5 coming out onto the court. As Christina Pasaturo will inbound for the Dolphins, and of course York College undermanned. They only have the 5 players they've brought here today, and those are the 4 or 5 that are on the court right now for York College. So third quarter action now begins as the Dolphins on top 42-17, and really you want to eat as much clock as you can, eat as much shot clock as you can, continue to take your shots and continue to build if you're the Dolphins towards this finish of the season. And this is a Dolphins team that will improve if as they will likely hold on and win this game today, if they can hold on and win this game today with 45-17 lead, to get to 11-1 and continue to pad the lead over Lehman and Brooklyn, who are both 9-2 and still within striking distance of that number 1 seed.
Yeah, and Cray hits the first shot for the Dolphins, a 3-pointer. She now has 13.
And going down court quickly, Samantha Flecker with the teardrop as makes it a 47-17 game, 17 game. Now a 30-point lead here for the CSI Dolphins. And then for Flecker, that now gives her now 5 points, 6 points on the day.
Yeah, quick 5-0 run for the Dolphins to start this third quarter.
Cray going across court, this time to Passaturo, 3-point shot, and she hits it. She has now made four 3-pointers today. She has 4 of 8 from downtown. Now 50-17 Dolphins in front.
And the electronic scoreboard not working properly, but
we'll do it the old school way.
Passatoro now with 18, as you mentioned, Mike.
We'll do it the way they did in the 40s with smoke and mirrors and pens and pencils, for that matter. So it's 18 points for now for Passatoro. All we need is the cigars and the top hats. And the hats. That's it. As it's now a 50-17 lead, 33-point lead for the Dolphins with 8:33 to go in the third quarter. Craig going over to Passaturo, back over to Price, 3-point shot, and that's going to hit the rim, no good. Nice job by Perone, though, to back it up with the rebound, and she's able to put it up on the glass. It's 52-17.
Dolphins with the first 10 points here in the third quarter.
10-0 run for the Dolphins to start things off as Sava gets around a couple of Dolphins and really having a hard time navigating around Price and Cray. Somehow avoids traveling, is able to get it off to Charles, who's able to put it up and end a 10-0 run for the Dolphins with some points. And for Charles, that is her first points of the entire day. Cray working over towards Passaturo. Now no look, bounce pass back over to Flecker on the baseline. Now going back over to Price. Bounce pass inside to Perone. Works her way inside, takes a shot, gets her own rebound, goes back over to Price, now over to Passaturo. Passaturo now going back to Price. Flecker on the baseline, bouncing around a little bit, and Perone able to keep it in momentum of the Dolphins as it goes towards Passaturo. 3-point shot for Cray, and that's good. It's now 3 for her. What a day for Victoria Cray now with 16 points now, Mike. She's had a tremendous afternoon.
She really has, Mike, and that's on 6 of 8 shooting from the floor, including 3 of 5 from the 3-point line.
That's now 20 points now for Christina Passaturo. She finishes that dish. Yeah, so just under 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And a lot of these Dolphins getting a chance to really starting to pad the stats here a little bit. Passaturo having a big day for Cray. It's now 22 now for Passaturo. She finishes that one off.
You know, Mike, and, you know, for Christina Passaturo, she came into today's game as we're going to have a whistle and a 30-second timeout, so we'll have a chance to keep it right here. But Christina Passaturo coming in second in the conference in scoring. She's averaging 22.4 points a game. She has 22 here in the game this afternoon. The conference is being led by Ainsley Del Rosario of Lehman College. She's averaging 23.9 points. So Passaturo still in the conversation and could possibly lead the CUNYAC Conference in scoring here this year.
She really could, and she has a great shot at it. She's had a fabulous season this year. And couple weeks ago when we were here when they were playing Brooklyn College, and that was a game that came into, we knew that Brooklyn College having a very, very good team this year in the CUNYAC, and it was a challenge. It was a game that was going to be a challenge, and she dropped 30 on them in that game a couple weeks ago. So outstanding performances continue.
Yeah, you know, in addition to that, Mike, Passatoro second in the conference in assists, averaging just under 5 assists per game. So Christina playing very well all around for the Dolphins once again.
Craig gets the steal. Now it'll set up the offense, passing it over to Price. Quickly going in, quickly inside to Perone, who finishes it off underneath to make it a 61-19 game.
Yeah, and the Dolphins really coming out here in the second half, and, you know, they've already gone on a 19-2 run here in the second half.
I will say this, though, as that's going to be stolen away by Passaturo, quickly going down court. Right now a 1 against 2, and she's able to put it up, and it will be a rebound by Flecker, but it'll be a jump ball as she has to battle with Sava for the basketball. And possession goes back to the Cardinals. So rare turnover for the Dolphins here in this second half and in this game in general. We've only turned it over 6 times coming into the second half compared to the 10 coming into the second half by York College. That one's stolen away by Pasaturo. Here she goes, coast to coast, puts it up and in. And it's 63-19. I will say this, though, considering the circumstances, just talking about the officials, I think the officials have done a nice job not blowing the whistle too much.
Yeah,
in this game today.
Mike, you really just want to let the players play, especially in a game where York cannot afford to get in any foul trouble. And, I'm a little bit surprised at how quickly the Dolphins have been taking shots at the basket here in this third quarter, and now Pasatoro backing the ball out for the Dolphins.
Backing it out, now 17 on the shot clock. Flecker right now in the corner, goes back to Pasaturo, now back over to Price. Price right now dishes it off to Cray, who's in the corner, comes up out of the corner, now back over to Pasaturo. Cross-court pass to Pasaturo, takes the shot, no good. Perone with a chance, going up against Matthews, battling for the ball, but it'll go out of bounds. Last touch by Perone, it'll go back toward the Cardinals.
So it will be Cardinal basketball here. The Dolphins outscoring York 21-2 here through midway through the third quarter.
Tough situation for Ronald James and his Cardinals here today, as they are battling against a very good CSI team, but doing so understaffed. As right now we're going is going to be Jacome back over to Sava for the three-point shot, no good, and a rebound here for the Dolphins and Pasaturo. Going downtown over to Price, but she looks like she will turn it over. She did travel. And York College will get the basketball back on the turnover by the Dolphins. Sava bringing up court right now for York College. Sava going over to Roche. Going back over to Jacome, now to Matthews. Now Jacome again. Rocher back over to Sava, working inside to Charles. Takes the shot, no good. It'll be Samantha Flecker coming out of it with the rebound. Trying to set up the offense. She'll go over to Brocic, but Brocic will travel and go back another turnover the other way to York College. It's two straight travels by the Dolphins.
Yeah, so the Dolphins turn the ball over a couple of times consecutively, and the Cardinals will inbound the ball.
Cardinals inbounding. Jacome going over to Matthews. Matthews over to Sava. Bounce pass back to Rocher. And again, Cardinals, we haven't had too many long possessions in this third quarter. They only had 2 points in this third quarter. But looks like they're trying to fall in love with the three again. But this time they work their way inside with Jacome, takes the off-bounds shot, no good, and the pass is going to be out of bounds here on the ensuing possession by the Dolphins. And York College will get the basketball back. And I'm a little surprised here, a couple of careless possessions here by the Dolphins. 3 straight turnovers by CSI. Unable to run some clock off after a very fast start to this third quarter. Slow things down just a little bit. Right now, Jacome back over to Sava. Double teamed. Right now, will be Price battling for the basketball, but loses it. But eventually, somehow, Dolphins come out of it. As Flecker gets her hands in it, goes over to Pasaturo to finish it off down court for the bucket and a layup for 2. It's 24 points for Pasaturo. It's now 65-19.
Yeah, and I'll be surprised if we see some of these starting Dolphin players out on the floor much longer. I see Nicole and Bessie getting ready to check in. Alana DeMontro getting ready to check in for the Dolphins as well.
Yeah, we talked about that coming into the second half, how we would expect the backup, the second string to come in for that fourth quarter. And looks like that's going to be the case here for Tim Shanahan and his ball club. His starters have done more than enough in this game so far today, as right now it looks like DeMontro is going to check in. And Cray will check out for the Dolphins. And Nicole and Bessie is also checked in as Angelique Price checks out for the Dolphins. So three substitutions made by the Dolphins here in this third quarter overall. Pasaturo going over to DeMontro, back over to Bessie in a cross-court pass. Back to Pasaturo, three-point shot, no good. Rebound battle for the ball, no jump ball. Ruling, waiting for it, and will be a jump ball and should go the way of the Cardinals.
And it will, Mike, with 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. The Cardinals will get to inbound the basketball.
2:12 to go here in the third. 65-19 CSI Dolphins well in front of the York College Cardinals. And as we get to that fourth quarter, we'll start to look ahead a little bit for the CSI team, as They will play non-conference game on Monday in my neck of the woods near Drew University. On Monday, and then they'll go back to conference play later on in the week, as that's going to be travel cold on York College and be turnover their way back to the CSI Dolphins.
Yeah, so the Dolphins forced a turnover here. The Cardinals scored just 4 points in the first half. In the first quarter, I should say, 13 in the second. They just have 2 points, Mike, here in the third quarter.
1:37 to go. That one's tipped away. Nice steal there by Jacome. Jacome right now 1-on-1 against Jamontro. Puts it up and it'll drop in for points for the Cardinals. And that's only their fourth point. That's only points 3 and 4 for the Cardinals here in the second half.
Yeah, and DeMontra will get called for the foul for the Dolphins, so that will send the Cardinals to the free throw line, looking to complete the three-point play.
And this will be their first free throw of the entire game. And it'll be Jacome who puts it up and hits it. 3-point play. It's now 65-22. And Jacome was a 54% free throw shooter on the season. Cross-court pass between DeMontro and Bracic. Back and forth they go. And a handoff right over to Mbesi, but a foul called first.
Yeah, that's going to be a foul, and that's going to be against
Jacome.
Jacome, as that's going to be only the first team foul for the Cardinals here in the third quarter.
Right now will be pass to Turner, top of the key, going inside of Flecker. Flecker working her way towards the paint. Puts up the shot, but the ball hits the backboard. No good. Cardinals come out with it. 56 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 25 on the shot. And York College trying to get some offense going here before the end of the third quarter. They've only scored 5 points in the third quarter. Sava for 3, hits the rim, no good. Rebound here for the Cardinals is Charles as well as Rocher, both getting rebounds, but neither one could score. Dolphins come out with it. Bracic going back over to Passaturo in front of us. Right now, Passaturo near midcourt, making her way back towards DeMontro. Now pass back to Passaturo, back over to Flecker for 3. No good. Rebound by Mbesi. Nice job. She gets double teamed, has to get rid of it, gets it over to Passaturo. 8 seconds on the game clock. Shot clock is off. DeMontro with the clock ticking down with 4 seconds to go. Gets the shot off. No good. Dolphins come out with a steal. And the last shot before the end of the quarter just missed, and Flecker upset herself. She wanted the buzzer beater shot to go down. So at the end of 3 quarters, Mike Babusky and our fans on CSI Sportsnet, 65-22. Dolphins in front. We're back after this. You're home for everything CSI Dolphins and CSI Sports. CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
You make me wear my bike helmet.
Taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet.
Shoebox under the bed. Where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
You make me wear my bike.
And we are back here, folks, on CSI Sportsnet. You're home for everything CSI Dolphins. Dolphins in full control, 65-22. Michael Cohen, along with Mike Babusky, bringing you all the action. As Nicole Mbesi will inbound in front of us, as she'll pass it off to DeMontro. And we are underway here in the fourth quarter. 10 minutes to go here in this one, folks. Dolphins on top, 65-22, and start to see more of the second stringers come in. We see Batar is now in, as well as Watson. So it's the full second team in here for the Dolphins as the starters, I would imagine, Mike, are done for the day.
Yeah, Mike, it's been a good day here for CSI as men's team came out, remained undefeated, and as expected, the women haven't had any problems with York College, so both the men's and women's basketball team continuing to roll.
And it'll be a three-pointer for Rosher. She gets the three. It's 65-25, 40-point lead for CSI. As right now, Nicole Bessie working in the half court, passes it off this time to Bracic, going over to DeMontra. Right now inside the paint at the free-throw line, passes it off on the corner to Bracic, who puts it in for three. And a nice job by Bracic. Yeah, she gets her first points of the day.
Yeah, so Bracic hits the three-pointer, and a player the Dolphins are looking forward to helping them down the stretch as the Dolphins prepare to head down that stretch. Mike, they'll go to Drew University on Monday night at 7 o'clock, come right back in action Tuesday against Medgar Evers, then play Saturday against Hunter, go on their last road conference game against Brooklyn College on February 7th, and then they'll wrap up the regular season here at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center against Lehman College.
And the game against Drew will be a tough one, non-conference opponent, and Drew a very good team out there in the Florham Park, Madison area in New Jersey. And really outside of that, the one game that you sit there and say, where could they end up getting tripped up? Brooklyn comes to mind as well, and that'll be a tough game over there in Brooklyn, New York. And then, of course, Lehman College comes here, and that finish for the season, Mike, will be a tricky finish and a very interesting finish, because in a lot of ways you would imagine the Dolphins would need to win if, let's just say for the sake of argument, that Brooklyn and Lehman do win out as well coming down the stretch. Dolphins would need to win probably one of two of those to assure themselves one of the top two seats.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, Mike. The Dolphins are 10-1. Brooklyn and Lehman are both 9-2. So, should the Dolphins fall to either one of those teams, finishing third in the conference is still not out of the question, Mike. So, still a lot of basketball remaining to be played for the Dolphins. You were comfortable here in this game here this afternoon, and Medgar Evers isn't going to pose a problem. But if you mess around with Hunter College, Mike, they could definitely be a problem, and we all know that Lehman and Brooklyn are both going to be problems.
So a lot of challenges remain for the Dolphins here as we come down the stretch. A lot of big challenges, but of course this one today pretty much well in hand. It's been really much well in hand since the middle part of the first quarter, when the Dolphins came out of a timeout after struggling early on. Another nice jump shot there by DeMontra, makes it 70-25. But after struggling early on today, where they're up 5-2 offensively, they called a timeout and then went on a nice 18-0 run and have not looked back since that time at CSI here against the undermanned York College team. 7 minutes to go. Nice three-point shot by Sava, and she banks it through for three.
Yeah, Sava, one of the players that York College will be looking to build with throughout the future.
And you take a look at the roster for this team. They have 4 freshmen on this roster overall, as that's a steal here for York College. Going downtown coast to coast is Rosher. She is a sophomore, so she'll draw the foul as she goes up.
As Bitar got hit on the play, Mike, and the official with no choice but to call that one, as Jacome will pick up her third foul, the first foul for the Cardinals. 6:44 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Dolphins will inbound, as that will be Elena DeMontra to bring it up court for the Dolphins. Goes inside to Visegia Watson, dishes it back off to Bracic. Now DeMontra outside the arch, and that will be, well, she did have her foot on the line, so it'll be a long two. Either way, it is points for the Dolphins, 72-28.
Yeah, and a good chance for DeMontra to handle the ball and play the point for the Dolphins here in the fourth quarter.
Sava, no look pass over to Matthews, who puts up the long two. And it's now a 72-30 game. So much better offensive showing here in the fourth quarter here by York compared to what we've seen through the first 3 quarters. Able to knock down some long-distance shots, something they struggled with all day today. Watson going back over to DeMontra over at the point. 12 seconds on the shot clock. She's going to go into the lane, tries to pass it off, but it's stolen away by the York College. Going coast to coast is Jacome, puts it up, no good. Coming out with it is Jacome anyway.
Nice job by Jacome, missing the shot but grabbing her own rebound.
Rocher with a three-pointer, no good. Dolphins come out with a rebound, and that will be Nicole Bessie. And Bessie going downtown, going up to the hoop and puts it up, draws the travel violation instead. She was looking for the foul, but didn't get it.
Yeah, no, she was, Mike, but she picked up the ball and took an extra step and got called for the travel.
5:18 to go. And Dolphins on top by 42. Dolphins looking to improve to 11-1 in conference as Chacombe takes the shot. And it'll be no good. Dolphins come out of it as Charles and Brocic were battling for the rebound. And Bessie comes out with the basketball, goes over to DeMontro, nearly lost the basketball, able to get enough handle on it and set things up offensively with 15 on the shot clock. Watson doesn't like her look, goes back over to DeMontro. 4:40 to go. 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. Now it's 5, 4, and taking a shot is Brocic from the jump shot, and it's going to be no good. And the Cardinals come out with it at 4:30 to go. Three-pointer by Rocher, and that's going to hit the net. And really a tough situation. We've talked about it all day for York College to be not just undersized, but also have no bench here today at all. Not certain what the circumstances were for that to happen, but really unfortunate situation for them.
Yeah, and you got to give the Cardinals a lot of credit, Mike. They've played good, strong defense throughout the game here this afternoon, and just allowed the Dolphins 72 points. They just don't really have a way to create enough offense to remain competitive against a good team. But you got to have a lot of respect for the way they've come out here, continue to play hard, and just hit their three-pointer right there.
Nice three-pointer there by Sava. She was backpedaling on the three, and it's going to be 72-33 now with 9 points today. Yeah, she has had a good day for the Cardinals. And now it's going to be Nicole and Bessie, top of the key, working away around with Sava up against her, puts up the shot, and it's good for 2. That's now 4 points for Mbessie.
Yeah, Nicole gets her second basket of the game as the clock continues to roll with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go, Mike. And what's been, a lot of fun here at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center, starting with the alumni game way back at 11 o'clock this morning.
And that was a lot of fun to see some of the big stars here for the Dolphins of the past, guys like Michael Stewart, who had a big day, and John Calley had a huge day today for the alumni.
And Evan Pittman, another Hall of Famer for the Dolphins, and, just a good chance for people to come out and renew acquaintances here this afternoon. And, it was a fun alumni game, a lot of smiles all around, a lot of happy players coming out and enjoying the day here at the Sports and Recreation Center. And then, the men came out and took care of business, a men's team that's now won 9 in a row and is undefeated through 12 conference games. And then the women continue to roll as well as they maintain their unbeaten streak. So, just a good day all around here for the Dolphins. The women's win streak is going to hit 8. The men's win streak hit 9. Both teams have combined for just 1 loss in CUNYAC play this year. And, we're heading down the stretch, Mike. We'll be playing championship basketball in less than 3 weeks.
Lena Bittard, last Dolphin to score here inside the last 30 seconds. 76-33 Dolphins in front. Foul called inside. And that will be against the Dolphins. So York College will keep the basketball here. And they will inbound with a new 30 on the shot clock with 2:10 to go here in this basketball game. Dolphins again well in front, as we've already illustrated, on their way to 16-4 on the year. They've had an outstanding season. They'll win their 8th in a row. Off-balance shot by Charles, no good. Dolphins with the rebound. But more importantly, will improve to 11-1. We're not too sure what the other two teams, Brooklyn and Lehman more specifically, have done here done this afternoon.
Well, looking at the schedule, Mike, Lehman's playing John Jay. They'll win that game.
Yeah.
And CCNY is playing Baruch, and Brooklyn is playing a non-conference game. I believe they're playing Skidmore.
Okay.
So that game won't have any impact on the standings at all. But the Dolphins continue to roll, Mike, and continue to win here in regular season play.
Christina Pasaturo led the Dolphins today with 24 points. She checked out before the start of the fourth quarter here. It's been the second team throughout this quarter, as we much expected coming into this second half. And they have done a nice job in holding this lead and adding to the lead as we've gone along here in this fourth quarter. Right now, DeMontre at the point, who's played very well at the point here in the fourth quarter, gives it off to Viseggio Watson, who goes upstairs and draws the foul.
Yeah, so Watson gets a foul called and will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. That's only going to be the second team foul against the Dolphins here in this fourth quarter, as Rocha's going to pick up the foul, and Watson will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining here in this game.
And the first shot will roll around and then roll in. Viseggio Watson, so far on the season as a free-throw shooter, hasn't had many attempts. That was only her 5th, and she's now 3 for 5. And now she'll be 3 for 6, so she's back at 50%. Next broadcast here on the home of everything CSI Dolphins on CSI Sportsnet will be the Medgar Evers game, and that will be on the 31st. Mike, you'll be here for that one. And I believe the next game I will join you with will be on the 4th of February against Hunter College. It's next Saturday.
Yeah, so the women will be in action beginning at 5:30 against Medgar Evers. And, you know, again, the Cougars really struggling to the point that it's tough to imagine a scenario where that game is close, as that'll be an offensive foul called on the Dolphins. But on the men's side, Medgar Evers is always dangerous, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of lineup they're going to bring into here to start the second half of the season. And, you know, with a win in that game, the Dolphins on the men's side could absolutely clinch first place, or for all practical purposes, they've already done that. And then it'll be Hunter College on Saturday afternoon with the men and women both in action.
One thing we did not mention, and what was very important to get these starters out of the game early for the Dolphins, was because they're in the middle of a stretch for the women's side where they're playing 3 games in 4 days. So it's good to get them some rest in this fourth quarter as well. So
yeah, you're right, Mike. And, of course, the most competitive game will be the middle game on Monday against Drew University. I think, you know, ordinarily head coach Tim Shanahan would never schedule 2 games on 2 consecutive days, but against Medgar Evers, he felt comfortable.
77-39, Dolphins get the win here today. A dominant performance from the start for CSI as they go ahead and get the win. They now are officially 16-4, 11-1 in conference. We tip our cap to York College for coming out here in a tough circumstance and doing the best they could. They did hold the Dolphins to 77 points, but it was more than enough for CSI as they get the win here on a Saturday afternoon. So, leading scorer for the Dolphins, Christina Passaggio, she scored 24 points. She led the way for CSI, and for all of us here at the Sports and Recreation Center, we want to thank you. It's been a busy day here of sports action here at the Sports and Recreation Center. For our cast and crew, Mike Babusky to my left, I am Michael Cohen. You're listening to your home for everything CSI Dolphins, CSIDolphins.com, CSI Sportsnet. We'll talk to you next time.